But as we're speaking on the up-and-coming opponent who's the mandatory for him, yeah, it should be a problem. It should pose a problem for him.
Stylistically, can this turn out to be an easy fight for Tyson, where he makes it look easier than it is?
Yeah, Tyson just has to box like he used to do. You know, when he boxed Vladimir Klitschko, and at that point, nobody can touch Tyson.
So back to boxing, not the guy we seen against Wilder fighting forward.
Well, I don't know. Right now I'm feeling boxing, but maybe tomorrow I'll feel just straight go get him.
Ooh, what's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Izzy Pop, for boosting up your man the YB's coin situation right now. So we just heard there from your man's Sugar Hill Stewart. Yeah, 100%. That's how we did it. Listen, that's how we did it here from. How about that? Now, I've told you, man, before, I judge things on a case-by-case basis, and I ain't no man fan. So on that basis, I'm pretty sure most of you Donnies who know me know where I'm going to go with this one. Listen, these words from Sugar Hill Stewart was dead. Bottom line, I ain't trying to hear this one. That's what I'm not trying to hear. Yeah, of all the things I might be trying to hear, I ain't trying to hear Fury going back to the boring ass Klitschko style. I understand that, I mean, let's not forget people. We know, or Taylor actually, I was about to say we know Fury can easily, the easiest option for Fury is to nick fights. But then again, that's not true, is it? What have we learned over the last few years in reality? Well, yeah, the basis that, oh well, if Fury can always fall back on nicking fights on points like he did against Klitschko and take no risk, that's been exposed. Because look what happened in the first Wilder fight. Yeah? We all had the notion, oh well, no one can beat Fury in a boxing match. And that was the hardest fight, realistically. Fury gets put down twice. And the funny thing is, people say things like, oh well, you know, Fury had a hard fight in the third Wilder fight. Listen, as hard as the last Wilder fight was, he was never hit as hard as he was in the first fight. Do you understand? There was never, compared to that, when Fury got put down in the 11th round, or 12th round, whenever it was in the first fight, that was, out of all the 3 fights, that was the most riskiest point of any of the fights. And that was in the fight where he was doing the whole Klitschko style. Yeah? So, I just feel like Fury's got momentum now. Now, I'm not saying, it's obvious to anyone who knows boxing, in that third Wilder fight, Fury and Sugar Hill, to his credit, was saying this. There's no doubt Fury does need to use more of his jab. In the Wilder fight, he almost got too much into a fight. So yeah, I'm not someone, people think that I'm someone, oh, you should just go forward and be completely reckless. No, absolutely Fury, but I've been saying myself, Fury needs to jab Dillian White's nut right the way off for him, until he's begging for the right hand. That's what he needs to do. I think more, rather than the Klitschko fight, which is nip and tuck and boring, I think it's more like a Chisora performance. If I was training Tyson Fury, I'd say, listen, look at the Fury vs Chisora 2 fight. We're going to do that for 6 rounds, yeah? Literally jab Dillian White's nose onto the other side of his face, and then, when he's literally begging for the right hand, we'll give it to him for 6 rounds, yeah? For the first 6 rounds, we're going to touch him all over, nice light shots, peppering him, yeah? Big, slow, bulbous Bambi legs, won't be able to keep up. Pepper him all over, and then and have him begging for the right hand. But when I hear about Klitschko, it makes my skin crawl. People know Fury vs Klitschko was one of the deadest fights. I know Fury man fans, oh no, it was amazing. No, it wasn't. Let's be real now. And no one trying to watch that. And again, people can tell from my own opinions that Fury has won people over in the last few fights. Now again, man fans will say, oh well, it's not about winning people over. Well, it is. Yeah? Why would you want to kill the momentum you've built? Great momentum. And again, for me, I understand if, for example, Tyson Fury was about to go in there with a 1986 Mike Tyson who's got custody of Mato in the corner, I'd be saying, you know what, yeah, let's try and it's probably best to do the Klitschko performance. Let's just try and win this one. But guess what? When you're going in there with Bambi legs, with no chin, yeah, Dillian White got no chin, he got no legs, he got life and death with Chisora. It makes it awkward to say, oh, we need to do. Think about it. If you've been prepared, yeah, to go in there and mosh Wilder to death, to go from that to saying, oh well, we need to do the Klitschko fight. That's a beta mindset. That implies that you think you rate Dillian White. Now I'm not gonna lie. Deontay Wilder has no inside game. We know that. So I understand from an analytical point of view that, well, yeah, Dillian White is more dangerous than Deontay Wilder on the inside. That's a fact. But again, it's like you got to look at the numbers here. Deontay Wilder is a 1 out of 10 on the inside. Dillian White is like a 2 or a 3. Oops. So from a mathematical point of view, if Deontay Wilder is a 1 out of 10 and Dillian White's a 3 out of 10, that's still a 200% increase. So I understand why you might want to be more cautious. But in reality, from an absolute point of view, a 3 out of 10 still ain't no good. Oops. Do you understand? He ain't. Dillian White thinks he's all that good. Yeah, Dillian White looks good against people his own size. In as much as that sloppy left hook he throws from his waist. When you're Tyson Fury's height, Tyson Fury gonna see that coming from miles off. And I believe, if I was training Fury, the easiest thing to do with a left hook, especially for someone like Tyson Fury, who we know can switch stances, when you turn southpaw, the left hook's just gone. Oops, completely gone. And to be honest with you, if I was training Dillian White, I'd be training him to turn southpaw as well. Whatever Tyson Fury does, I'd have to mimic it, because you ain't gonna get it off. A smaller man, it's hard enough, yeah, to get a left hook off against a southpaw your own size anyway. It's a whole different ball game trying to get a left hook off against a southpaw who's 5 inches taller than you. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Dillian White gets off a left hook, especially that big sloppy one. For example, someone like Mike Tyson who's got a nice short left hook, that might have a chance of landing, but Dillian White's one, his arms all open, he bowls it, no way. Fury gonna see that coming. Fury too cute for that, I'm afraid. Oops. Yeah? People forget that when I was saying that I thought AJ could beat Fury, it was on the basis of volume, and to be fair to AJ, his shots aren't like Mike Tyson's, but he does have, when he's on his job, he does have short hooks and short uppercuts. My whole base case was always that AJ would beat Fury if he goes in there, elbows in, and just works, throwing big combinations again and again and again, multiple times around. That's how he'd beat Fury on points, and or get a stoppage that way. Yeah? Dillian White doesn't have that though. Dillian White doesn't have the combination punching of a Anthony Johnson, of a prime Anthony Johnson. That's what he doesn't have. Dillian White really has pot shots, and pot shots work well. Look at the Chisora fight. Chisora was beating the second fight. Chisora was beating Dillian White until the ref stepped in, and until Eddie Hearn's paid ref stepped in and started taking points off. And Dillian White was pot shotting the whole night. And then when Chisora got panicked because he kept getting robbed by the referee, that's when he started getting sloppy, and that's when Dillian White was able to land his sloppy left hook. Again, and that's Chisora, someone who's sloppy anyway. Oops. Yeah, it took Dillian White 10 rounds to land a sloppy shot against a robbed Chisora. You ain't landing that against Fury. So with that in mind, this is the thing you see. When I say things about people, when I say Dillian White is Bambi legs, when I say Dillian White is chinless, when you have such strong opinions, which by the way Tyson Fury has also, he said the same, but when you have them opinions, I'm going to hold you to them. Do you understand? If you tell me, I believe he's a bum as well, but if I tell people Dillian White's a Bambi-legged bum, yeah, then what we can't do is, we can't say that statement, we can't have a giggle and laugh, and then in the next breath say, well, yeah, I said he's a Bambi-legged bum with no chin, who got whooped by a 50-year-old bum Vetkin. But I'm actually gonna, for the first time in the last 5 years, I'm gonna go back to running around the place like I did with Klitschko. Them two statements don't make sense. To go from the most aggressive form we've seen Fury in to going back to the most boring form, the most scary form, the most nick and tuck form, that shows that Tyson Fury is giving Dillian White a lot more respect than he should be, in my opinion. I actually think the Wilder fight's more dangerous because Wilder could actually punch. I'm not sure Dillian White can punch. That's a fact. Yeah, I'm just not. I think he looked good against slow, old people who are no good his own size. And when you look around at his career, that's who he beats. Chisora, no good, old. Yeah? Who else he beat? Povetkin, no good, old. And even Mr. No good, old Povetkin still chinned him. Do you understand? Someone like Tyson Fury, who's an 8 out of 10 fighter, or a 9 out of 10 fighter, coming up against a 3 out of 10 fighter. There's no time for Tyson. There's no time for the Klitschko fight style. The Klitschko fight style had no snare, had no spite in it. It had no pepper in. It was all pepper in. It had no touching. It had no me too-ing. Yeah? It had no breaking down. And that's why I'm critical of Anthony Johnson, because he don't break no one down. He hasn't done it for years, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off when big heavyweights don't break people down. It's like, what are we watching for? And even Lennox Lewis to some extent. The reason I've never been too hot on Lennox Lewis, he was too happy just to nick a fight on points. He never really wanted to. Don't get me wrong. If a KO fell into Lennox Lewis's lap, he'd take it. But he was never really committed. And I feel for big men, if you're 130 pounds soaking wet, yeah, and you can't break people down, that's one thing. But I just feel at the Premier weight division, the expectation must be you're going for a stoppage every time. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Yeah. Now all these new age cats, all these Floyd Mayweather cats are trying to change the game. No, it's not about that. It's about nicking fights on points, and it's about not losing ever. I don't know. For me, that's good for you, man. Yeah, you man who want to see people so-called boxing, that's good for you. I don't want to see that. I want to see people exploiting their craft to the highest degree. And the highest accolade in this sport is the KO. Yeah? So you can't tell me you're the best fighter ever, and every fight you're not going for the KO. That's impossible. The best fighter ever would be going for the KO every time, because he'd believe a KO shows that you are. That's the highest honour, isn't it? That's the highest honour over another man. It's taking his conscience. No man wants his consciousness ripped from his barnet. Yeah? No man wants his consciousness punched out of his bonds for him. That's what they don't want. So if you're able to do that, yeah? If you're able to punch someone's consciousness right out of their bonds for them, that's the highest accolade. And that's what everyone should be going for. Especially someone like Tyson Fury, who has the talent, who's got the bottle, who's got all the advantages over Shillian. Because no matter what you say, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, has Tyson Fury got the best chin? No, but it's better than Dillian's. Oops. Do you understand? Every single attribute is better than Dillian's. It's as simple as that. When I give people these ratings, when I say there's no way Tyson Fury, or when I've been telling people for the last few months that Tyson Fury gonna punch Mr. Bambi Legs' bonds off for him, the Brixton Bomber, that comes with an expectation. And that expectation is that you ain't going to go in there and try and pull a Klitschko job on us. That's what we don't want to see. And I'll be pissed off. I'm not going to lie to you. After all this kind of, after being won over in the Wilder fight, I'll be pissed off if we take a step back against his bum. Do you understand? It's one thing, yeah, if Tyson Fury was fighting some phenom and he wanted to take a step back, I get it. But Dillian White and that guy, there's no taking step back against Dillian White for me. I don't see it myself. I don't see everyone. Oh, Dillian, he gonna do this. Dillian can't even handle his average business. He can't. He goes life and death with random standard dons like Parker. You know what I mean? All these ones. Everyone he go life and death with. He loves to go life and death. And I believe. And this goes for everyone. Anyone who believes Tyson Fury is a league above Dillian, we all need to be saying no. We don't want to see Klitschko. We want to see Dillian White's noggin smushed, yeah, jabbed right onto the other side of his face, 100%. And I want to about the 7th or 8th round, yeah, I want to see Shillian in the corner, just begging for the right hand. I want to see him broken, and just begging for it, saying, please give me the right hand now. I'm ready for it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to meet my maker now, 100%. I'm saying, you know, by the 7th or 8th round, your man Shillian, you're gonna see it in his eyes, and his soul is going to be screaming through his eyes, please, Fury. Yeah, send me. I'm ready to meet my maker right now. Yeah, I don't want no more of this life. Yeah, if this is what life's about, I don't want no more of it. Send me to, you know what I mean? Send me straight to my maker. That's what your man Shillian gonna be doing, and that's what I want to see. And guess what? If you go in there with the Fury and with the Klitschko thing, because the Klitschko thing, yeah, that was a. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but the whole spirit of the Klitschko fight was just about winning, and I get it, because you was the underdog, and you was the one, you know what I mean? I understand the mindset behind it, especially given the training Fury was having. Yeah? I understand him saying, well, I'm the B-side, all I want to do is just win. Yeah? Never been world champion before, going against the best man in the last 10 years. I understand just wanting to win, but we're above that now, we've done that. You've done the winning, now it's about legacy, and I'm afraid to say, and I've been saying this about AJ, legacy, this era is very weak in my opinion. So legacy isn't about just winning. These guys aren't good enough just to win against, and you've shown that against Wilder. Oops. And I'm afraid to say, Fury has set the bar high now. I have the expectation now. If you can go in there and knock Wilder out twice, I don't see why you'd now scale back and say, well, we're going to go points with Dillian. Nah, that don't work for me. He's no good. If anything, I'd rather you have gone points with Wilder than Dillian. Dillian useless. He's slow, he's bubbly, he's bulbous, he got Bambi legs. Yeah? And also, his attitude, listen, Fury, let me tell you something now. The way Shillian has acted for the last few little time, he doesn't deserve a points. Yeah? He doesn't deserve to say, oh, I went points. If all the people, like I said, at least Wilder turned up and give it a good innings. If anyone should have been given the mercy of going points, it should have been Wilder, not Dillian. Dillian deserves the most ruthless whooping. He's earned that as well, by the way. All of his actions, all of his weird ass behaviour, he deserves a royal ass whooping. And that's really the bottom line on this one. Of all the people you may want, listen, if you want to go easy on Usyk or whoever else, whatever, but this guy, and this annoying ass guy, who's punked all of his fans off, not turning up, being selfish and whatever else, being greedy, he deserves it. Give it to him. Yeah? Bottom line. Now again, to be fair to Team Fury, he has said here, Sugar Hill did say, yeah, well, I'm thinking more, we're going to have an easy fight and do the Klitschko thing. But tomorrow I might change my mind. And to be fair, I've got another video coming soon. Fury in the last few days has said that he going straight forward, not taking a step back. So I do have to say that. I'm just saying, when I heard this, came out about a few months ago, it was a bit dead. It was a bit of a joy kill. So I just want to put it out there that, listen, ain't no one trying to watch that. But you want to see you dominate the Brixton Bummer. Yeah? 100%.